When a spiritual master points inward for self-realization, an immediate thought comes to mind. A tiny little self, hiding and sitting somewhere inside the physical body, waiting to be found. This immediate misunderstanding arises due to the limitations of our sense organs and long attachment to the body. The body is a part of nature that we borrow, and one day it will merge with it again. We've previously explored how our senses perceive only about 5% of the entire universe. Who tells us this? Science. Even within this 5% of perceivable matter, our sense organs are not able to perceive everything in detail. It's a humbling reminder of our limited perception. Yet, the entire universe, everything known and unknown, exists within the vast, pure, witness, unchanging consciousness. Don't misunderstand. Consciousness is not cognitive knowledge, like I know this thing. It is the pure witness principle, impersonal, identical for all beings. Worship, whatever way you can. Although we are trying to explain this way, don't try to perceive it as an external object. Try to experience this in a silent mind. You see, nothing can be experienced outside of consciousness, known or unknown. That's why it can be said that the universe exists within consciousness. In fact, material properties themselves depend on the act of observation and relativity. In 2022, the Nobel Prize in Physics affirmed that the properties of external objects are not independent. They depend on the observer. We have provided a link to previous related videos on this topic in the description box. This explains why different creatures perceive the same objects differently. Each organism's perception instrument, their senses, differs, but it's the light of consciousness that illuminates both the instruments and the objects. Consciousness itself remains detached, acting as the witness to all things. Everything exists within consciousness. This is why the universe is not absolute. It has no independent identity. It is ever-changing, relative, and dependent. To explore this in depth, you can go to the wisdom of the Mandukya Upanishad. Now come to the big questions. Where is the true you? Am I inside the tiny little body, hiding and sitting somewhere inside the physical body, waiting to be found, or somewhere other? Where? Think about this. In your dreams, you experience pleasure and pain without a physical body. The mind creates a world filled with both known and unknown objects, all within the mind itself, mimicking consciousness as you wander through it. But in that dream world, if you tried to find the true you, where would you look? It is said that Matrix movie series were influenced by this. If you had seen, you will get some idea and relevancy with what we are talking here. Knowing the true self. Can the true self be an object of perception? Consciousness is non-material, unlike any other matters, and cannot be perceived as an object. It must be realized. In the absolute silence of the mind, you can have a glimpse of it. It is impersonal, identical for all beings. It's like water in a bubble, wave, ocean, river, pure water only. Space inside the house and outside, pure space only. This is why it's called the self of all beings. Since there is no experiencer nor any experience other than it, the self is unknowable, not because it doesn't exist, but because it can't be an object of experience. Explained in Panchadasi chapter 3 verse 13. The self cannot be an object to anything. Because of the light of consciousness of the self, everything is illuminated, including the happiness and sorrow of the mind. But this illumination is not physical light. that often comes to the mind due to constant perception of material objects and attachment to materialism. The absolute state, beyond ordinary experience. What is the absolute state? The Upanishad declares again and again, and enlightened masters, those who have transcended all personal interest, describe this absolute state as pure, vast, and blissful, a state beyond ordinary experience and unable to be expressed in words. That's why there is no sound in the last part of the Om. Expression: the self's infinity. Few lines from the poem, The Self's Infinity, from the experience of Sri Aurobindo. I have become what before time I was. A secret touch has quieted thought and sense. All things by the agent mind created pass into a void and mute magnificence. My life is a silence grasped by timeless hands. The world is drowned in an immortal gaze, a momentless immensity pure and bare. I stretch to an eternal everywhere. Path to the pure state. To reach this pure state, the mind must first be purified through divinity. Swami Vivekananda emphasized the importance of manifesting this inner divinity. If you value peace and unity, join our mission to oneness and peace. Show your support by subscribing to our channel, liking our videos, and sharing them with your friends. Thank you for watching. May all beings be happy and peaceful.